to BWI, and let's just get right to it with our Raw review. I filmed this like so many times because I messed up, but yeah, let's just get this started. The coronation of Kevin Owens was the first segment of the night. It was the first thing of the night, and well, it was pretty cool. It had amazing promo work by Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens and Stephanie McMahon. They're all amazing on the mic, and I love them. It was an amazing segment. Go check it out wherever on YouTube, you know. But long story short, it had a Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens brawl going on. It had an accusation towards Stephanie by Seth saying, like, you knew what was going on. You knew what happened. You knew that he was going to be there, and that being Triple H. Of course, this is all coming from last week when Kevin Owens won the title via Triple H. So obviously Seth is pretty pissed off. So the brawl that was going on between Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins ended up having Stephanie McMahon indefinitely suspend Seth Rollins, but that would be short lived. Like literally 2 seconds later, um, Mick Foley, who was also in the ring with them, ended up rewarding Seth because he was screwed over. So quote unquote. So he put him in a match at Clash of Champions for the Universal title. And as we get backstage, Stephanie McMahon confronts Mick Foley saying, how dare you undermine my authority, and pretty much trying to tell him, like, you emasculated me. And it's a joke because, Stephanie usually does that to them. But then she threatened and emasculating him, kayfabe wise. That's not exactly what she said, but she basically said that she'll take away his job or something like that. Yeah. But then Kevin Owens comes out and goes confronts Mick Foley saying, how dare you make a match for me at Clash of Champions? Like, God forbid I defend my title because I am a champion and the champions aren't supposed to defend the title. Sorry, this is not no shade towards Kevin Owens. I just hate it when WWE writes their talent to say stupid stuff like that, because come on, not like even as a heel, you can book it in something. Zayn, your former best friend, later on tonight, and Jericho, you're facing Seth Rollins as well. So that was that of it. As we get to our first match of the night, which was the women's match, the women's champion Charlotte will go on to face Bayley with Dana Brooke at ringside. So it was funny because earlier in the night, Charlotte gave Dana a clipboard and the pen saying, you're going to take notes of everything I do as I beat Bayley tonight. And the funny thing was that Dana legitimately was taking notes. Like, usually they don't do anything. Like, even when they're on the phone, they're like on the freaking home screen. Like, no, Dana didn't leave this paper blank. She was actually writing notes, like, or writing some stuff down, which, I don't know. To me, I just cracked up because that's not usually what they do. They just leave the paper blank. Like, when the camera goes and pans to them, it's blank. But it wasn't. It was actually with writing. So, anyways, moving on. It was a miscommunication with Dana and Charlotte. It was an Oklahoma pin that happened, and Bayley ended up kicking out, which ended up having Charlotte accidentally friendly fire Dana. Wasn't supposed to be that way, but obviously, but it was that way. Anyways, though, something to take away from this is Bayley won. So Bayley is obviously in the title picture. She should be in the title picture. And yeah, that's pretty amazing. And I'm going to explain to you more about this and talk a bit more about this later on in my review. Anyways, we move on to the first squash match of the night, which featured Bo Dallas. So I wasn't paying attention. All I know is Bo Dallas won. And the guy who he faced was Kyle Roberts. That's it. I don't care for it. Anyways, we have another segment with Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens where Jericho is basically telling his bro, hey, I got you. I'll attack the leg for you, bros. I got you. Like I'll beat Seth Rollins up. So that ended up going into Seth Rollins versus Jericho, which was a pretty entertaining, fast-paced, fun, and nothing too special about the match, but it was still a pretty cool match, pretty good match. A couple of weeks ago or a couple of months ago, if you would have asked me, if you would have told me something about Jericho or told me to give you my opinion on Jericho, I would have said, I think you should retire. That's the thing. Every time he gets boring, he pulls out something in his arsenal, and this match showed it. It had Seth Rollins winning, though, and that was that of it. So he just walked away, and that was, I think that's the last we see of Seth Rollins throughout the night. So Yeah, that's not the last we see of Chris Jericho, but Seth Rollins, yes. Anyways, we go to the next match of the night, which was the third installment of the best of 7 series with Sheamus versus Cesaro. Um, the back. The back that Sheamus attacked last week ended up playing a big factor in tonight, so Sheamus did end up winning the match with him attacking the back with backbreakers and side slams, all of that good stuff. But he ended up winning with the bro kick, which no one saw the irony in that, right? Am I the only one who saw the irony in that? Like you attack the whole freaking back, but you hit him with the bro. Whatever. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yeah. Worth noting as well, this Wednesday at a live event, there's going to be the fourth installment, which will probably have Cesaro win. My only thing with that, which I don't want to turn this into a rant, is because I love Cesaro. So if Cesaro does end up winning, which he probably will, it's sad that they're not going to feature it on TV for all of us to see. Like, come on, guys, I want to see Cesaro win the match. Cesaro's one of my favorites right now. So yeah. Anyways, moving on. The tag match. There's a tag match with Enzo and Cass versus the Shining Stars. Nothing to note about Enzo and Cass. They went out there. Were Enzo and Cass. Enzo had a Enzo gave birth to Soft, which I'm not gonna talk too much about. You just have to. You guys have to watch it. Um, it was pretty dumb, but yeah, the match. Nothing special. Nothing again too special. But the Shining Stars ended up winning, which you never see them win. But it is worth noting as well that it looked like it was a botched spot because there was a schoolboy pin. I don't know. There was some kind of pin going on, and to me, it looked like Enzo did kick out, but the referee had already counted three. Because if you also look, uh, Cass was gonna go in and interrupt the count. Like he was literally inches away. Like this wasn't like, oh, like I was just being slow. Like no, he realized Enzo was in trouble and like, oh my god, I have to save the match. You know. So yeah, they were left. Everyone was left in complete shock. The four competitors, and yeah, that was also that of it. As we go to a KO and Sami Zayn segment, which was pretty heated. Zayn basically was talking to Phillips and telling him, "Hey, look, dude, I I'm kind of jealous of Owens. Like I've worked my butt off, and for him to just have his stuff handed to him, that's not right. And Kevin comes out and he says, "You're just a little bit jealous. Come on, dude. Like, let's face the facts. You may have been the first for everything, but I literally got what you've been working for. This, and it's the Universal Championship." So that was pretty good work, heel work from Owens. That was a pretty cool way of selling the match for later on in the night. You know. But anyways, moving on to another squash match of the night, the second one, and the second women's match, Nia Jax versus Ann Esposito, who is Alicia Fox's friend. That's very important. Nia Jax ended up winning with Ann showing a little bit of a fight towards Nia, but Nia did come out on top. And again, Ann is Fox's friend. Have to leave that a major key. It's the key. Called DJ Khaled. Moving on, there was a club segment, a club and New Day segment. It was just stupid. I don't want to comment so much on this. This was like probably the lowest points of the night, and we had a Darren Young and Titus O'Neil confrontation in there. You know, so for this to be the lowest point of the night, and it featured the New Day, that's very bad. WWE, fix that next week, because I don't want to see the New Day be in my lowest point next week. All right. So the club ended up bringing out these three guys dressed as a New Day from the future, saying, they're old. They're the old day. You know what? I don't even want to talk about this, but yeah, it was basically them saying that's them when we beat them at Clash of Champions. And the New Day come out defend themselves. The typical we attacked those three guys because the bald guys didn't want to face us, and they attacked the three other guys. And yeah, yeah. There was a cool move though at the end, the big ending, and it was like Xavier was on the what you call it, the second rope, and he ended up delivering a DDT with the big ending. So that's pretty cool. I kind of like that finisher. So moving on from that though was Jinder Mahal versus Darren Young. So Jinder Mahal, if you don't know where that's from, it's from when Eva Marie was on Total Divas, and so was Jinder Mahal. Jinder, and Eva Marie thought Jinder's name was Ginger, and Jinder was so pissed. So yeah. Anyways, Jinder Mahal versus Darren Young. Darren Young ended up winning. Titus was at commentary. I guess you know where this is going. Titus was gonna come out after the match. He went down after the match, but he ended up getting his butt kicked. So we're continuing the storyline, which I like. I kind of like Titus O'Neil as a heel. I feel like he's gonna get better. It's like Charlotte again, like I've said. But we move on to this Fox and Nia segment. Look, I'm happy. I'm actually very, very happy. There's a lot of things here. First of all, we got Fox back, and I love Fox. If you don't like Fox, I'm sorry. I'm sorry this isn't for you, but I love Fox. And then Nia Jax ended up confronting Fox because she went and told her, "How's your friend?" And Fox was like, "She's hurt, duh." And the two had a war of words until Fox ended up like legitimately accidentally hitting Nia Jax kind of hard. Like she wasn't really supposed to do that, but she kind of did on accident. But anyways, Nia then threw Fox on the table, and Fox wasn't intimidating. She intimidated. I mean, she was tough because they gave her crazy Fox character. She's crazy Fox, and I love it because crazy Fox to me is what we need because we need a crazy character, and she's just to me that's awesome because they're gonna give a Nia Jax and Fox feud. That's what it's gonna be, a Nia Jax and Crazy Fox feud, and that's what Nia Jax needs as a competitor. Everyone wants Paige, but Paige is currently out with suspension, and she won't be back for another week or so. And they need to put Nia Jax in a feud ASAP, and Fox is the perfect way because well, she's pretty tough, especially with the Crazy Fox gimmick. So I'm happy for that. I'm happy. And yeah, hopefully we see what happens next week. So then we get Braun Strowman versus Sin Cara, and it was the third squash match of the night. Um, Braun won via countout, so I'm guessing it's gonna be a Cara versus Strowman feud. I would kind of have been more happy had it been a Roman Reigns and Braun Strowman feud, just because I'm tired of seeing Roman Reigns in every single freaking main event. Sorry, Roman, but I'm just kind of done with it. Same with Seth. Don't think that I'm trying to just hate on Roman because that's the popular thing to do. I'm just tired of seeing all the Shield members on every single main event. Like, there's more guys. So yeah. Anyways, we have the Sasha Banks segment where she had some bad news to deliver. I was absolutely so freaking terrified because I thought she was gonna announce retirement, and even the way she came out and said things, that's the way I thought it was gonna go. But thank God it didn't. Dana Brooke came out, and as soon as she came out, I was like, oh, everything's fine. And the bad news was, of course, towards Charlotte because at Clash of Champions, it's gonna be Sasha Banks versus Charlotte for the women's championship. But as I noted earlier, Bayley did pin Charlotte, so are we gonna maybe get a triple threat? That's also something worth noting. As we move on to the main event, Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. I'm gonna have to say this one quick, but pretty cool match, pretty amazing match, entertaining as hell. And KO won, but Roman Reigns came out after trying to stare down Kevin Owens, and that ended up having Mick Foley say, if, put on a match for next week, Kevin Owens versus Roman Reigns. If Roman Reigns wins, it's a triple threat at Clash of Champions. Anyways, though, that's it for my Raw review. Sorry that last part was a bit rushed. I'll make a whole video about that later on. But if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, share, subscribe. Please, if you're a new subscriber, go check out my women's channel. Leave some questions for me for a Q&A, and until next time, bye.